Arizona, y es por eso que nosotros pensamos que es importante que la gente sepa sus derechos. Sabemos que existen casos de discriminación por perfil racial, y esto no es aceptable y no queremos que esto siga sucediendo. Queremos hacer un paro a esto. Así que nuestra meta es que toda la gente conozca sus derechos, que toda la gente sepa que tiene el derecho a permanecer callado cuando es detenido por la policía, que tiene derecho a pedir un abogado. We're here today because we know there is an anti-immigrant climate in Arizona, and we feel that people need to know what their rights are. They have the right to remain silent. They have the right to ask for a lawyer whenever they are taken or they're in the hands of the police, or whenever they're apprehended. They could always stay silent or ask for a lawyer. We are asking people to please limit what they say to the police, because the more that they say to the police can be held against them. Le pedimos a la gente que cuando esté con la policía no diga nada, porque entre más cosas diga la gente, más puede ser usado en su contra. Y queremos reiterar que todos tenemos derechos bajo la Constitución. Queremos parar este perfil racial, queremos que ya no nos juzguen porque tenemos la piel de color morena, porque hablamos con acento. Queremos que eso pare, pero mientras que esto sucede, tenemos que recordar que tenemos el derecho a guardar silencio. We want to stop the racial profiling. We all have rights we all have constitutional rights, but meanwhile this racial profiling stops, we want people to know their rights.
Thank you, and I neglected to mention at the beginning that there will be question and answers at the end of the opening remarks. Our next speaker is Antonio Bustamante, an attorney in Phoenix.
One of the reasons we're here today is to draw attention to the fact that notwithstanding the civil rights movement of the 60s and 70s that had their more immediate origins in the 1950s, notwithstanding the strides that have been attained in the last 50 years in the history of this nation, we are now in a very dark and reprehensible page or chapter of our history in this county, in this state at least. We are now in a time when officialdom, the sheriff's office of this county, runs and chases down people based on the color of their skin, arrests them, interrogates them, mistreats them, intimidates them, and we have reports of physical abuse, physical violence being perpetrated by Maricopa County Sheriff's officers to force people to answer questions they have the right to refuse to answer. I'm referring to the roundups and sweeps that the sheriff has conducted over the last several months from time to time here in this county, in the city, and other parts of the county. The sheriff's deputies go out on dragnets where they look for people who are brown in cars, and they pull over those cars for minor traffic violations and then begin to interrogate each and every person who looks brown or Hispanic. It has resulted in many abuses. It has resulted in people being deprived of the right to decline to answer questions, a right that exists under the due process clause of the 14th Amendment of our Constitution, of our national Constitution. It's also a right that exists under the 5th Amendment of our national Constitution. These are lawless acts by a law enforcement agency that claims to be ferreting out the illegal matter of entering the country without authorization, an act which is a petty misdemeanor, less serious under the law than exceeding the speed limit by 20 miles an hour. It is outrageous that the Constitution is being trampled upon in order to try to force people to talk. It is outrageous that the Constitution is being trampled upon in order to single out people who look brown. It is outrageous that people who want to decline to answer questions are being intimidated to be forced to answer questions about their citizenship, about their alienage, about their place of birth. These are outrages that no civilized, ordered, democratic, free society ought to condone, but they are happening under our nose. And they're happening under our nose because there are too many people in power who are using the undocumented as a scapegoat to propel themselves into positions of more authority and greater power. It is happening right under our noses because we have a complacent public that does not understand its own constitution, does not understand the rights that people have spilled blood over the centuries to maintain. We have a populace that is not vigilant in making sure that the Constitution is observed. We have a populace that does not understand and does not appreciate, or too many of our people do not in this county understand, that our magnificent Constitution, our time-honored Bill of Rights applies to every single human being found in this land. That is why this is a great nation. Some people are threatened by that. Some people are threatened by the idea that everybody has rights in this country. Unfortunately, they fail to understand that that is the very strength, the very power of our country. We demand that there be a stop to the racial profiling that's being conducted by the Sheriff's Office. We demand that the new Phoenix Police policy that allows the Phoenix Police to begin to interrogate now under a lot of circumstances, not all, but under a lot of circumstances, interrogate about a person's alien age or place of birth, that be done within the confines, within the parameters of our Constitution, not only of the nation, but of the state of Arizona, which parallels the national Constitution. Finally, I'll say some words in Spanish. A los compañeros del habla hispana, les doy el consejo que muchas personas han dado, que en este país, cuando los paran los oficiales de la ley, no tienen que contestar preguntas acerca de su ciudadanía. En realidad no tienen que contestar ninguna pregunta que le hace un oficial. Yo entiendo que eso puede ser difícil comprender, que muchas personas no captan esa realidad, pero así es la ley. El problema es que cuando una persona, especialmente una persona indocumentada, entiende sus derechos e insiste que no va a contestar preguntas, los oficiales los empiezan a amenazar, a intimidar, a decir que los van a arrestar y a veces los golpean. Pero este es el problema. Si empiezan a contestar preguntas, si contestan cualquier pregunta acerca de ciudadanía o de dónde nacieron, por favor entienden que van a ser arrestados por estar en este país sin autorización. Entonces es preferible aguantar, mucho preferible aguantar las amenazas, los insultos y a veces los golpeazos de los oficiales, porque sin contestar no podrán comprobar que uno está aquí sin autorización. Y si no tienen otra razón por la cual investigar o detener a uno, tendrán que soltar a la persona que quieren arrestar por falta de tener papeles para permanecer en los Estados Unidos. Con el resultado que sí van a regresar a sus familias ese día después de esa confrontación tan desagradable con los oficiales. Muchas gracias.